There's so much talk after the game about man rushes against, is that a function of, just you leak after a while and you just kind of just it's normal to kind of let up after 20 games or how many
Yeah.
games? Or
It wasn't just, going back and look at the game. First of all, we had, and I said this, it wasn't like I don't think that we stopped working. I thought that we generated an awful lot. Like there was a lot of chances that went our way, and we didn't collect on all the ones that we would have liked to have collected on. But inside of that mindset of trying to score, I think that we're leaving ourselves open a little bit. So that was part of it. And then there was more to it as well. I thought there were some turnovers that didn't help us out. I thought that there were some D-zone coverage things that didn't really have anything to do with the rush, but it had to do with having guys back in the zone where we could have been better. And so today, take that time and opportunity just to show these things and go over them and try to work on some of the parts of it on the ice to try and get better. And so I think it's just the last few games have gotten out of hand, and so you address it. It's like anything, when something pops up, you address it, you try to fix it, you try to get better at it.
Do you think more risk has crept into your game?
What's that?
More risk has crept into your game?
It's some of it. There is just awareness. We're in the offensive zone and we're attacking, and things turn over, and there's that 1 or 2 seconds where you have to realize that things just turned over. Ottawa has a team that plays fast and plays long, and they do it quickly. And when they catch you, it's gone too quick the other way. And so I wouldn't say necessarily that it's risk like we're slamming walls recklessly in the offensive zone or we're just sending 3 guys in. That's not the plan or the message. However, if we hesitated getting out, or if we did pinch at the wrong time, or if somebody did get behind us just from unawareness, or if we turned a puck over and they get a 2-on-1 the other way, and these things all happened in that game, it's like a culmination of everything. And so it all needs to be a little bit cleaner. Some risk, yeah, we can eliminate some of that. Some details to how we play the game, we can definitely get better at that. Decisions with the puck, I think we can get better at that. And so if there's 8 things that you didn't like coming at you, I feel like we could remove 5 or 6 of them, and now it's a much more in control game.
So actually, piggybacking off Colin, kind of like you've been able to continue winning even as some of your attention to detail has slipped a little bit. And so is it almost human nature to say, well, we're winning this way, we're winning this way?
No.
No.
No, because we go over it no matter what. We talk about it. We meet with D pairs. We meet with lines. We meet as a team. We show these things, and we're trying to get better. I would like to see more detail to what we're doing, and that's what we talked about today. Just the details of how we're going to go about our business and how we're going to play. And so I think all these things are correctable. Again, we caught a team that played fast and played long, and they caught us a few times, but there were other things as well. And inside of that, you go back and look at the numbers and the chances, we're still on the good side of things. We've just got to clean up this side over here a little bit where it's just a little bit too much.
Yeah, obviously your first time going back to Washington as Rangers coach on Saturday. Just want to get your thoughts on your time, your 3 years in Washington, and why you felt the time was right to leave.
With my time in Washington was really good. I worked with really good players in a really good city for a really good organization, and I've been fortunate in my career to work in some great places under those circumstances. And it was at the time when talking about it, my contract was up, and we made a decision just to step back for a second, and so we did. But as far as my time goes there, like most places I've been, I really enjoyed it. The players were a good group of guys. The fan base is a real loyal fan base, a real good fan base. Ownership and the team were really strong, and it was a big city, Washington, being in D.C. So that was kind of fun too, just being in that city for a stint. And I don't know, my career has bounced me around into different places, and some would look at it as maybe a negative. I think in hindsight, I look at it as a positive, where I got to go to these really cool places and spend time and do something that I love.
And why has this been a good fit for you here in New York?
Well, again, it's New York City. It's Madison Square Garden. It's an original six team. I mean, there's a whole bunch of reasons why people would want to be part of the New York Rangers, and so same thing. The fan base is unbelievable, passionate. I have so many people come up to me on a daily basis and say something. I'm the biggest New York Ranger fan there is, and there's a lot of the biggest ones out there, and they love their team. They love the sport, and it's a great energy and a great place to be.
Is it different for a coach than a player when you go back to a place you worked at?
I think it's always a little bit different because the players are on the ice and they're the ones that put in the work, and they're the ones that are on display, their skills and their game, and so I think it's a little bit different. But when you go back, you get to see a bunch of people that you've met along the way, and that's always good too.
I know this has become a repetitive question, but is Phil Keto on track, or are you confident he's going to return?
Yeah, I mean, I think Larry, he's moving in the right direction, and yeah, I think he'll return.
Your team's ability to bounce back, what is it, because it's a more of a mature team? Do you think that's why so far this year you've had that character?
Yeah, you're right. I've said this before. There's been, this isn't the first game where we're loose or we didn't put in what we needed to put in, but the response has always been good, and sometimes it's been good inside of a game. A lot of the starts have been really good, but the odd one that we do have, we catch it in the second period and we're able to readjust, or if the start was good, the second might slip, but we catch it in the third and we're able to readjust. And very rarely does a 60-minute game, I mean, there's just so much parity. Very rarely do you go out and you just own all 60 minutes and you just walk away and say, well, that was easy, because it just doesn't happen anymore. And so there's always give and take inside of it. But I do think that our guys have answered when something hasn't gone our way or we haven't liked it. They have answered and come back with a good effort.
Talking to Igor today, just briefly, his attitude is he didn't do his job because he's supposed to stop. What did you see from his performance, not only as Ottawa but the last few games?
I think he's played well. I think that if we're going to talk about last game, the responsibility has to be on us to play a cleaner, better game than what we did defensively, because breakaways and 2-on-1s and 3-on-1s, we've got to keep the numbers behind the rush, and we have to defend the rush. And then when we come back into D-zone coverage, there's things that we can do as well. And so that's on us to be better. And so everybody, I think after a loss, everybody wants to be better. Maybe I can't say to why he said that, but I look at it as our team, we've got two good goaltenders. We've got to play a good, solid, branded defense in front of them.
Is there any concern with the two guys that did practice today, Chris and Mark?
They were off today, one lower body, one upper body, correct? And so we'll see where everybody's at tomorrow. It's day to day.